So, you want to make billions of gold in TBC Classic? Wait, did you say billions? Oh, you have skinning. Well, let's get to work then. What is up guys, my name is Solheim and today we are talking about skinning gold farms. Skinning is a really good profession for gold making in the Burning Crusade, simply because you have so many different farms available. And there's many different types of leather that are needed for different leatherworking crafts. For example, you have thick cleft hoof leather, which is used in crafting the nether cleft leg armor and the cleft hide leg armor, as well as drums of battle and different gear pieces. You also have fell hinds, which are used in crafting several best in slot epic pieces, as well as the fell leather and fell stalker set, which are pre-abyss items as well. You also have wind scales, nether dragon scales, and crystal infused leather, as well as knot hide leather and heavy knot hide leather. Basically, there's tons of different types of leather, and these are needed in huge quantities for several different crafts, including leg enchants, drums, and actual gear, so the demand for leather will be constant throughout the entire TBC expansion, which makes it a really good profession. Another good thing about skinning is that everyone can benefit from it and actually use it to make some gold while doing regular daily activities, because you will be killing beasts anyway in dungeons or for daily quests, or while leveling from 60 to 70 depending on your leveling path. There are, however, certain classes that can farm more optimally with skinning, such as hunters or feral druids, which can chain pull enemies, but they are kind of limited when it comes to how many mobs they can pull. Classes like mages and paladins can do massive AoE pulls and skin a massive amount of mobs in one pull, making them excellent for this type of farm. So while skinning can be good for everyone, I would particularly recommend being a hunter, druid, mage or paladin, or maybe even a warlock, which is good for chain pulling just like a hunter. So with that being said, let's talk about some skinning gold farms. Number 1, so for the first gold farm, let's talk about an obvious one, cleft hoofs in Nagrand. This is probably going to be the first actual skinning gold farm you guys will encounter if it's your first time in the Burning Crusade, simply because cleft hoofs are part of quests in Nagrand, and you will find them throughout the entire zone. Once again, thick cleft hoof leather is used in crafting leg enchants as well as drums of battle, and several gear pieces as well, so this is a really good and simple and fairly effective gold making method, and you will get tons of knot hide leather as well, which will be really valuable early in TBC. Being a protection paladin or mage to AoE pull these can also be really lucrative, but being a hunter, warlock or feral druid for chain pulls is also decent. I also want to let you guys know that I've managed to secure you guys a 50% off code on what I think is the best gold making guide for TBC Classic, which you can find a link to in the description and the pinned comment. So far, this gold making guide has 80 pages of pure gold making information. It is incredibly in-depth, and by purchasing the guide you will also get all of the updates for free, as a student will keep improving and updating the guide before TBC comes out and during TBC as well. So if you want a guide that shows you everything you need to know about gold farming and gold making, go check it out, the link in the description, and use code Solheim at checkout to save 50%. Number 2, next up is a really good skinning gold farm, one you can do without any competition at all, because it's instanced. One good thing about instanced gold farms is that there's no competition for mobs, so you don't have to wait for mob respawns, as you can simply reset the dungeon when you're done pulling. I can't possibly state how important the no competition part of this actually is in early TBC, because early in TBC everyone will be out to farm different materials, so instanced farms will be insanely valuable. So without further ado, I present to you Black Morass farming. This dungeon is really good because you have spiders and several other skinnable beasts inside the dungeon. If you're playing a hunter or a feral druid, you're probably best off singling out the spiders and farm that netherweb spider silk, so in that case it isn't really much of a skinning gold farm, but here is where the skinning comes in. If you're a mage or a protection paladin you can do AoE pulls, and in that case you need to pull some non-spiders as well, which is where skinning comes into play. This dungeon right here will be extremely lucrative early in TBC, simply because of the netherweb spider silk, which is used in multiple tailoring crafts, like the new primal mooncloth bags, and the imbued netherweave bags as well, and also the spellfire armor set, the primal mooncloth armor set, and the frozen shadowweave armor set, which are the tailoring specialization armor sets, which are best in slot, and people will absolutely pay a lot of gold for the materials needed to craft those items. And honestly, even if you're a hunter or a druid farming the Black Morass, If you single out the spiders, you will most likely hit the dungeon limit pretty fast, so being able to utilize skinning for some extra gold while you're inside the dungeon is actually extremely valuable. Number 3, damp scale basilisks farming in Terrokar forest. This farm right here is really popular and I wanted to show it to you guys so you at least know about it, but I'm telling you right now that you should expect some competition here, so farming at night time or early morning time might be the best option. This farm is very popular because these mobs can drop the damp scale basilisk's eye, which is an item you can hand in for reputation with the squires, and if you skin them you can also get some crystal infused leather, which is used in different leatherworking crafts. Technically not a skinning specific gold farm, but the mobs are skinnable, and having skinning will definitely increase the gold per hour from this farm by quite a bit. Number 4, nether dragon scales farming. There are 2 popular locations for this, one in Blades Edge Mountains and one in Netherstorm. For the one in the Blades Edge Mountains, the mobs will have a little bit less health, but there are also some other mobs as well that you will have to kill in between the drakes, while the one in Netherstorm is filled with drakes and you don't have to kill anything but drakes, so it's absolutely perfect. But if that one is overfarmed, you can use the Blades Edge farm as a backup. And here's a quick overview of crafts where nether scales are used, just so you know that they are in fact used in leatherworking, and as you can see, leatherworkers will need a huge amount of these as well. That being said, it is mostly used in gear crafting, and not as much in items that have constant sales, such as leg enchants and drums, so the demand is somewhat limited as well. Number 5, wind scales. For this you have 2 good options, one being in Blades Edge Mountains and one being in Shadowmoon Valley. Personally, I love the Shadowmoon Valley one, but you do have some humanoid mobs patrolling around you as well, so keep that in mind when going there. But if you have something like mining, you can easily find some mining veins while farming these wind scales, so it's a perfect gold farm for someone with both skinning and mining. The humanoids at this location can also drop Sunfury signets, as well as other rare and unique items, so it's a good farm if you want to farm a bit of everything in one location. Wind scales are pretty much used in the same type of crafts as the nether dragon scales, so epic gear crafting that might be quite lucrative, but also has a somewhat limited demand. Number 6, Cobra scales. These are used in crafting the nether Cobra leg armor and Cobra hide leg armor, which are the physical DPS leg armors and also the leg armors that will probably sell the most, both in terms of quantity and price, which means there's a constant demand for these Cobra scales. On top of that, it's also used in crafting the styling hat, which has some nice stats, as well as some epic armor with hit rating and attack power. These scales are best farmed from the Shadow Serpents in Shadowmoon Valley, and this farm right here can end up becoming insanely valuable, so keep it in mind for TBC Classic. So there you have it guys, 6 different gold farms for skinning in TBC Classic. I want to end this video by saying that skinning can make you a lot of gold while leveling in TBC as well, so to make some additional gold while leveling from 60 to 70, grabbing skinning is definitely a good idea. Leatherworkers will need around 900 knot-hide leather to skill up their leatherworking, as well as tons of other leather as well to go from 300 to 375 skill, so you know there will be a massive demand for leather early in TBC. I also want to say that while all of these different farms will also give you different types of leather like cleft hoof leather and wind scales and so on, you can also simply go back to Hellfire Peninsula and grind hellebores for knot-hide leather, and probably make a decent chunk of gold per hour, because you will kill those mobs so fast, because they're level 60 mobs. You can also make some extra gold while raiding with skinning, especially in Karazhan, which is where you will be able to obtain fell hides. And yeah boys, that's it for now. I just wanted to talk about skinning as a gold farming and gold making profession. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to slap a like on it, as that really helps me out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? You know you want to, it's right there, go click it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again very soon.